I dropped Carol off at the front door there. Entrance. And there she comes. I think she's happy here at the Jarvis winery.
So, what time is it?
48 hours before tea time at Pebble.
Ha ha ha.
There was no way to do it, though, in 1991, except that was the year after they finished the channel in England. So we went to England, bought 2 used channel diggers. First time they were brought back here and used in this country. And even though this is solid rock, we were able to do this. So come on in. There we go. You're very welcome, Rita. Thank you.
Wow.
We're bottling our last year's Chardonnay today. So we'll actually walk by and see some bottling today, which is kind of cool because we don't bottle very often. Even the fermentation tanks, you know these big things that you see outside of all the other wineries? We snuck them in the cave too. We just have to make the cave larger and larger as we go back. The offices, the bottling line, the shipping department, the fermentation tanks, everything's underground here. But the most important thing is the barrels. Because 61 degrees is perfect for aging wine in barrels. And what hurts the wine more than anything else? Fluctuation of temperature. Humidity. You have to keep the oak staves expanded. It's better for the wine, so there's less air contact. Here's our humidifier. Now watch your step, everyone. That's our humidifier. We got. I know, exactly. But for Jarvis wines, French oak is a really good match. So we only use French here. I know a lot of other wineries use Canadian and Russian and Slovenian and Hungarian and American oak. We like French. The problem with French oak barrels is very simple. They're double the price of in other countries. These cost $1,200 to $1,400 a piece. That's why most wineries use them 3 or 4 times. Get the most use out of each barrel. You do a couple of years, bottle it. You do a couple more years, bottle it. So you'll have the barrels here for 6, 8, 10 years sometimes. We don't. That's how 98% of the wineries in Napa do it. We do it the other way. We use them once and get rid of them.
My goodness.
Good reason, too. The best flavors in the oak barrel are always absorbed by the wine that's in there the first time. Then the wine has it, it takes to the bottling line, it's not in the barrel anymore. Does anyone want to go in? 18?
Sure.
17? Well, you're down 15 seconds. 14? Seven? 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is like you're crossing the street.
Stand up next to the door.
If I didn't do that, something out there. Okay.
Holy cow.
This is our crystal chamber. It's kind of. Yeah, there was a midget who was in the fire.
Midget in the fire in the burning building, and he rushed in.
Bunch of kittens. There were kittens.
The original story from 20 years ago, where I first initially
Yeah.
was I stepped in a neon brick hole in Bermuda. And literally, I did
Well, that old story.
No, that's a true story.
That's a true story.
That's a true story.
I was a witness.
Okay.
He was a witness, and we had 2 other couples that were witnesses.
Land crabs.
Wait, 2 other witnesses in my ankle. So we can send it to the weekend. Doesn't take much to remember.
Ouch. Yeah, that's about a month.
is a cable item.
No, no, no,
They are.
no, no.
Hey, say where you're from. Say where you're from.
Oh, Cape
Cape
Cod.
Cod, Massachusetts.
Oh,
John-
wonderful.
John's with the NSA. on-
Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
It's with the
Okay,
NSA,
great.
forget it.
And over here, Sweden, and I'm from that landmass between Illinois and Ohio.
The most important thing of all. This is a Chardonnay that there's one way to make sure that you will not taste it properly. There's one thing to do to destroy it, so where you don't taste all the best flavors it has to offer. How do you do that? By chilling it. You serve this Chardonnay cold, you're going to miss most of the best flavors. We actually say right on the back label, the best temperature for this Chardonnay is 68 degrees. I don't know what that is centigrade. Sorry. You are limiting yourself to a very narrow view of what each one is like. But if you try each wine as I pour it and save half the glass, then later we all go back and revisit them in a different direction, different angles, you're going to be amazed at how different each one is. You're going to have a little willpower. I'll give you a warning here. It's also the youngest wine on the table. If you look at it from a different perspective. Here's that perspective. This has a much longer lifespan than almost every other winery on the table. Wine on the table. For example, the Chardonnay is a 2012, but it's going to be tired in 5 years. This is going to be better in 15 or 20 years. So we just released it. For those who like it younger, it's just now starting to taste good. But if you like it much more mature and much more complex, then you still want to celebrate for at least another decade or so. Yeah, no.
Like a creme brulee.
Exactly. Now, see, what I'm telling you though is that aroma was there when you first smell it, but it was mixed in and sort of covered up by all the other flavors that were canceled out by having the full-bodied ones and coming back. That is a phenomenon. Is why I told you point blank before we started the tasting, make sure you save a little bit in all the glasses. They're all going to be different when you revisit them. That's just your starting point. Now go back and try others. $50 or so. And it depends on the size and the price of the wines to, how many will be in there. Sometimes 3, sometimes 6. That's filled up. You got a wait list? We hold it. On the other hand, underneath, right there where it says Inner Circle Select, that's your loophole. That's where it says, we don't choose the wines for you. We don't ship them out 3 times a year. You choose whatever you want. If it adds up to a year's worth of wines, you are now an Inner Circle member. And you got to cherry pick us at the same time, rather than letting us choose the wines for you. So both of them have the exact same benefits that are listed underneath in the bullet points there. So the first benefit you get if you're an Inner Circle member is you never pay for tastings. That's the first benefit. And you bring up 6 people, and everyone tastes for free. And you get invited to our harvest ball next year, so make sure your tuxes and gowns are all. We always change the gem theme. We don't know what it's going to be next year. Last time it was sapphire, so we had all the ladies in blue, and the guys had blue vests and cummerbunds with their tuxes. And then before that was emerald, so it was green, ruby, red. So we got all the different colors. Next year is our 20th anniversary for our artist ball, so we're thinking diamond, but I don't know what color gown that means.
Silver.
Bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap, yeah, good luck to you.